When did you realize your sibling's controlling boyfriend was actually a hero? My sister Jasmine had terrible taste in boyfriends, so when she moved in with Derek after 3 months, I expected another disaster. Her last boyfriend stole her car. The one before showed up drunk to family events, and don't get me started on the guy who tried to sell me cryptocurrency at our grandmother's funeral. Derek seemed different at first with his cybersecurity job and polite dinner conversation, but then the paranoia started. He would interrogate our family about which social media apps we used and demand we stop posting photos that showed our house or car. When Mom mentioned her morning jogging routine on Facebook, Derek actually grabbed her phone and made her delete the post. He insisted Jasmine share her location with him at all times and would panic if she didn't text back within an hour. I'd seen controlling boyfriends before who isolated their girlfriends by making them scared of everything. The next week I pulled Jasmine aside and told her Derek's behavior was crossing serious boundaries, but she defended him like she always did with toxic guys. I was planning to have a serious talk with Derek about backing off when he showed up at my apartment at 2 in the morning looking terrified. "Someone's been watching your family," Derek said, pushing past me and grabbing his keys. "I just figured out who it is and he's going to break into your parents' house tonight. Your dad's out of town and your mom's alone." Derek showed me a photo on his phone of a man taking pictures of our house from across the street. "We need to go right now." Derek called the police on the way, but they were still 15 minutes out when we arrived at our parents' house. The stalker was already there, crouched by the back door with a crowbar, trying to pry it open while Mom slept upstairs completely unaware. Derek signaled for me to stay back and crept around the side of the house, moving silently through the shadows until he was close enough to strike. When Derek tackled the guy, the stalker spun around with the crowbar raised, swinging wildly in the darkness. Derek ducked under the first swing and drove his shoulder into the intruder's midsection, sending both of them crashing into Mom's flower bed. The stalker was bigger than Derek, but panicked and sloppy, throwing desperate punches while Derek methodically worked to control his arms and pin him down. The fight moved across the backyard as they grappled for control of the crowbar. Derek's military training from before his tech career kicked in immediately, using precise movements to avoid the stalker's frantic swipes while steadily wearing him down. When the intruder tried to break free and run toward the front of the house, Derek grabbed his ankle and brought him down hard on the concrete patio. "Stay down," Derek commanded, pressing his knee into the stalker's back while twisting his arm behind him in a restraint hold. The guy kept struggling and cursing, so Derek applied more pressure until he finally stopped fighting. When I ran over with a flashlight, I could see the stalker had dropped a backpack full of zip ties, duct tape, and a hunting knife that made my stomach turn. Derek held him there for what felt like forever, breathing heavily but staying completely focused until police sirens finally filled the neighborhood. The officers were impressed by how cleanly Derek had subdued someone who outweighed him by 40 pounds. When they searched the stalker, they found detailed notes about our family's schedules and photos he'd been taking of our house for weeks. Derek had literally saved our mother from being assaulted in her own bedroom by someone who'd been planning this attack for months. Watching Derek give his statement while comforting my shaken mother, I realized how completely wrong I'd been about his character. His paranoid warnings about social media weren't controlling behavior, but protection from a real threat none of us had seen coming. When I tried to apologize for misjudging him, Derek just shrugged and said, "I'd rather you think I'm crazy than attend your mom's funeral." 6 months later, when Derek proposed to Jasmine, I was the first person to congratulate them and welcome him officially into our family.